We just did a morning practice, 60-minute flow training. And a lot of guys ask me like, do I do anything else to go ahead and build muscle or burn more fat? And so the answer is anytime if I want to go ahead and work on developing more muscle, then I'll just do extra of the moves that I do in part 2 of flow training. So part 2 is basically, if you've seen some of the videos I talk about, where I do 12 exercises, right? I do push-ups, pull-ups, dips, leg raises, squats, lunges, run in place, and kicks, strikes, jumps, and plank. Exactly those. Literally about 99% of all of my exercises right now are just those moves, And so today I'm gonna go ahead and I just finished up the workout, so I'm gonna go ahead and do a few of those for the upper body. I'm gonna be doing some dips, I'm gonna be doing leg raises, I'm gonna be doing push-ups and pull-ups. And also I'm gonna do a pike push-up. Oh, that's one thing I forgot to say. Pike push-ups or handstand push-ups, work on the delts. So come join along, guys. I'm gonna go ahead. I just literally finished the 60-minute. We're here grabbing breakfast. This is what we do every single morning. So I decided I'm gonna go ahead and get a little workout in and share it with you guys. Let's do it. All right. Start off with some pull-ups.
With love.
You changed it? You're on.
I must be first, and then after that, take long time. Will you do now?
I suggest that when you first started doing it. He's like, no, it's going to be horrible. Oh, well, yeah, that's not. Yeah, I get it.
No, I said have this from Natalia. Instagram.
All right, so take a little breather. So I like to do back-to-back sets, working on endurance, working on cardiovascular, muscular endurance, and at the same time it increases time under tension. Whew. Okay, so a little rest. So a lot of times, like my workouts, they used to be like hours and hours long, and now I'll just do something like this about every other day, you know, not even like every day. And a lot of times it doesn't, it may last 10 minutes. Once in a while it'll be like maybe 15 or 20 minutes, and that's it. And so when people are asking me, they're like, Mike, man, you know, a lot of people comment that I got a little smaller. And it's like, I don't do the same amount of volume. And if I wanted to put on more size, it's really easy actually. All you do is just do more volume. You know, without even making it more difficult. You just literally do more volume. Once I'm able to knock out, let's say 30 pull-ups without any issues, you know, 70 to 100 push-ups, dips, maybe 50 dips, you know, 60 dips, no problem. Then, and I can do that for 4 or 5 sets, then I can go ahead and start to increase and make the difficulty more. So then by that time, the developments on the muscles are going to be really good already, you know, a lot more. Then from there we can progress. So that's what I'm saying, is you don't have to do a lot of fancy stuff to build muscle mass, you know, to build good definition.
I asked her a few questions coming up personal psychology. She didn't really know much about it, so.
Yeah, a lot of bodies like down now.
Yeah.
They think they're overeating, yeah.
Yeah, and that's not the.
She's an interesting person.
No,
Such a
completely
strange
agree.
woman.
Yeah,
Like the way she holds herself. Like,
yeah, she's like
whoa.
straight, and you look at her, just you can feel power, just like Mandy.
Like, when I was doing my training, because we
Mandy.
were up there,
Rick Cole.
we had to do, I don't know, practice.
The one who made the TV show.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's just like stand up straight.
Different way though.
But yeah, I know it's different way. But
I think Anastasia's more
And then that would be my breakfast, and you start
dark.
2 hours.
oh, she she's the one who running the woman festival.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, this is not workout because usually we are Russian. We work like oh yeah.
Scary Russian psychologist. Like if you're in Russian, you're drinking water, they're gonna look at you really weird.
Yeah.
Crazy, right?
Because the water is wonderful.
Yeah.
And father is I'm Russian, but I'm not drinking.
Yeah, no, I think that mine is so good with like nourishing.
Very curious, right?
So if you see here, get a shot of my feet here. So I'm gonna go ahead and spot myself here. So I'm coming down, and every time I'm spotting myself using my feet for these dips. So if you're doing dips, let's say you're using a chair and your feet's able to touch the ground, you can spot yourself that way. If you're doing dips probably on a kitchen counter, same thing. Something that I do, I call them kind of like a running man dips. So imagine that there's a counter like this here, and I put my hands here, and I have my feet on the ground. And then I come up, and then I switch feet and I do this. So it makes doing dips so much easier, especially as a way to get more reps in, as a way to keep your form better. If they're really, really tough, it's really hard to keep good form. So learning how to self-spot is really key. So here I'm pushing pull-ups, and see if you can get like a further back shot or from the side or something so they can see my feet. So this bar is not super high. Obviously I can touch it, you know, while standing on the ground. So anytime when you're doing pull-ups,
Why I thought that would be possible.
and so I use this for behind the neck pull-ups because they're a lot tougher for me. So I jump up and come down, hop and down, and that little extra right here gets me higher. And so over time, once you get stronger at it, you only do it when you need to get in more reps. You know, what we call forced reps, or if you just need a spot, you can just kind of do them straight up.
Literally twice the sexual partners that they're practically like.
Because not just because you make a lot of food, it's more that you have a passion for understanding it. Like even just in that conversation, and you said, I've been reading news and that it's okay to skip a meal. Like I didn't know that. I didn't even know that there was something about it. So like.
So another place I like to do these pike push-ups is off of an edge, so this way I can go a little deeper. And also my hand placement, for me it feels a little better actually to do it this way. And kind of just adjust your feet forward and back to get a good position. The tip here, guys, look at my elbows. My elbows are not flared out like this. They're tucked in, okay? You're not doing this. Tuck in your elbows. Tuck in your elbows and come down. So, what we're mimicking is like a military press. But when you are doing a military press with your elbows flared out, look at my back. You see how my back is really engaged? My traps are really engaged. It's almost like doing a lat pull down, you know? So if you're really wanting to work your shoulders, you do this. Put your elbows in the front. Now look at my back. Okay? Versus elbows out. So from the front, this is what I'm talking about doing. Keeping your elbows forward, okay? Tucked in and forward. Works good on your shoulders. It's not that this doesn't work. It's just that it engages your upper back as well. So if your goal is, I'm gonna go ahead and do pike push-ups, handstand push-ups, military presses, whatever it is, and I wanna really work on my upper back, my traps, along with my shoulders, cool, flare them out, you know? But if you're like, I wanna really develop just my delts, just my shoulders, I don't really care about working the other parts, I wanna isolate it more, then put them forward. Another thing is when you put them out, sometimes it can be a strain on your shoulders, you know? Doesn't mean it's gonna happen every time, but just work with your range of motion and see. If it feels uncomfortable, I just want you to know that there is another option of having your elbows forward. It's starting to become slippery, so I'm gonna do this. Now I'm gonna go ahead and do the self spot because I'm fatigued already. Now I'm gonna go ahead and go back and doing some pike push-ups. You can find any edge, so I'm just showing you guys examples. Any edge, you can do them. that's how we finish up our workout. Okay, I'm done. So, whew, that's a little pump up there for you. Upper body. For you guys that are doing flow training, you want to add a little more muscle to your upper body, your lower body. This is a great way to do it. If you notice, all of these moves are moves that we do in flow training. The pull-ups and the dips we usually don't do in the regular version where we don't have any equipment. But just so you know, if you watch flow training and I do prone cobras where I'm laying on my stomach and I'm doing this, right? This is called a prone cobra. That is substituting pull-ups. Just because not everybody out there can either do pull-ups or have a pull-up bar available. And doing a burpee, right? That substituting dips. It's not hitting exactly the same, but this allows us to be able to do our morning practice anywhere, anytime with no equipment. But for you guys that want to put on some more muscle, you know, stick with these movements. They're the most simplest foundational movements, but the most effective. They work like crazy. Do them every day. When you're super sore, take a break. Stretch, you can do the rest of your morning practice. You can do part 1 where you're keeping your energy flowing. You skip part 2 of the resistance training. Go to part 3, you're doing your stretches, keeping your body limber, flexible. Go to part 4, breathing, meditation. You're good, okay? You can skip doing part 2 whenever you're super sore, because part 2 is all of these type of exercises and more. Tearing down the muscles, building strength, building endurance. You can skip it and still not skip your daily practice, all right? Send in your proof of practice, all right? Proof of practice, film it on time lapse. That's a super high speed option that's on iPhones, hyperlapse on Androids. Find another app that can film it super fast. It's what we call proof of practice, all right? Send it in, post it, tag me. This way I know that you did your practice. We're here to go ahead and get everybody doing a morning daily routine, because when people build a habit of exercising, it doesn't matter what type of things they run into in life, they'll stick to it. I'm tired of seeing people get in shape and then get out of shape and get in shape and get out of shape. It's time to go ahead and start to establish a habit of getting in shape, a habit of exercising, a habit of doing a practice every morning, okay? These proof of practices that I'm sending every day on my stories on Instagram, that is going to go ahead and help you stay motivated and stay accountable. So film that proof of practice, tag me on Instagram, send it over to me. You can even go ahead and tag me on YouTube here if you like to. Thanks guys, peace.